Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another episode of World of Tanks. I'm your host, TedTokes, and we got some pretty good matches this time. Actually, we got some good examples of how the team is wasting more time than necessary. All right, now let's get into it. For this first match, we spawn in. We got our leopard. There you go. Get out of the way, teammate. Alright, now as you can see, we're heading down what would be our east side of the map. Probably going towards the enemy base, that hill back there, not the one up here in the middle of the map, but the one back here, because that's where you really make the impact. You'll see later on in this match that all the players that sat there got a lot of points because of other players, and then couldn't even stand their ground when the fight actually got to them. Alright, here we are. We're getting close, crossing the first river, or the second river, but the first river where we might find threats. Passing up this middle hill here. We're going to take this zero line trench. As you can see, we got one teammate in front of us. Now that's probably not enough, right? But it's probably going to change once we actually reach the front line. However, this one tank being in front of me up until that point is still going to benefit the whole team. Now, as you can see, we get ourselves up to that front line that I was saying I was going to get to, this back hill behind their base. And as you can see, we still have that one teammate there. He's going with a right side flank. Little dangerous considering a lot of the overwatch can still help their team right here. And a lot of that overwatch, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for those kind of points that they don't have to actually participate in to get. Sad truth of the player base on this game. However, there are ways around it. Like, as you can see, I may not have a big team here with me, right? Most of my team may be in that 1 or 2 line, or over there on that more north of this side, north of the enemy base. But I still have enough team in that, on this corner here with me, in this southwest corner, to actually make an impact, right? We got that heavy down there in the water, right, taking a lot of the attention, allowing me to kind of peek around this corner. I don't think I noticed that heavy was down there at the time because I'm still here playing peek and pop. However, we got a teammate. We just saw a teammate bullet fly over towards that enemy. That enemy is choosing to reposition now, and that tells me I either have to find somebody out there that I can see from that position, or I have to change my position, probably progressing forward in order to actually reach the enemies that I want to make an impact on. Right here is where I start to lose grip on the footing of the match. As you can see, I'm kind of got a lot of health still, a lot of ability to deflect bullets. You know, strong armor, good angling, strong turret. You know, however, we got a lot of overwatch that I got to worry about, and that's what's going to chip into me. You can see that guy right there trying to chip his points in. The other tank on the left side of that water, where that tank's at, trying to make their chip-ins, you know. And then we still have them guys up on the land here right to my immediate left, either going to flank behind me, what it looks like, or pull up in front of me, right? Either way, going to probably try to flank me. Here I am trying to get this guy finished off. I managed to land the shot finally, penetrated it, and got rid of that one enemy. However, you know, I'm at the point in the match where, like, if you know anything about, you know, chess or positioning out, like the outcomes of what participation will get you, regardless if you want to relate it to chess or not, you know, they had a lot more pieces and pawns on the battlefield to make a move against me compared to me making a move against them. Here we are. You can see them guys that sat up on that north of the enemy base. They're getting folded right now. We already lost the 1 and 2 line where we had 75% of our team. you know, and you can't say that they fought the same numbers. If you ask me, I saw way too many enemies over here on this corner of the map for them to, you know, have, like, it wasn't a fair fight. They should have won that 1 and 2 line push, but that's the way it goes sometimes, you know. And this right here is why I fast forward after my death, because, you know, let's be honest, these two tanks might be doing more than they've ever done all match so far, and it still looks like not really much is happening. Like, you know, we see how slow that medium's making his way over to his teammate to help with that heavy. You can see how slow the enemy heavies are moving towards that battle zone to help their heavy, or even just try to steal that heavy's points while eliminating our teammates, you know, stuff like that. But you know, that's how it goes, you know. Even when you I'm not going to say I had a good game that game, but, you know, even when you have a decent game, it really doesn't matter. Good game, bad game, decent game. What matters is all of our game, right? Not how good you can do compared to the other teammates on your team, right? That's not important. Nobody cares about how much damage your team can get you for you to feel good like you know how to play the game, right? People want players on their team that are actually going to help. When you're a player that has to play Overwatch and you decide, okay, well, I'm going to wait for this other player to make this move, whether it's scouting or frontlining or whatever the case, you're going to wait for that player to make a move so that something happens in the game for you to react to. That's crazy, right? That's so wrong of a way to approach this game. And sadly, a lot of these players do play like that. They're not really interested in actually doing good. They just want to force the hands of everybody so that they can, by default, get the best score. Me, personally, I really don't care if they do more damage than me. Damage is not my only goal. I'm not some peasant looking to prove how much damage I can do when there's 3 other things on this map, in the match, that I can prove matter. Like the deflection, the time I'm wasting of the enemies, the positioning I do that allows those tanks to even get all those by default and free points that they want to play for, you know? Excuse me. But, like, for example, this right here, this situation, I got one teammate helping me, right? We're clearly facing more enemies than we have teammates, and we're winning. Why? Why are we winning? Because this one teammate is actively helping, not getting help to help, not even helping but still getting help. This teammate is helping, even if it is as something as silly as that tank getting in the middle of them with me and causing some of them to focus on that tank rather than all of them focus on one or the other, as in me or that tank, that teammate. And now you can see 2 of them went down there to help that teammate, or to help finish that teammate I have. I got to try and work this enemy and get over there to help that teammate. But, you know, what was I going to do? You want me to go right past this guy so he can get free back shots on me? What, you know what I mean? You need more participation. And when you look at the map, you can see the entire team that is left actively doing just about nothing. The only people you may be able to consider helping somebody else were those players in the 1 line who pushed all the way north after reaching that southwest corner. Those are the only players on the map right there that I would consider helping somebody else. Other, you know, not like most of them who are probably not even helping themselves, where I want to consider them helping themselves at least. But they're not, right? So if they're not even helping themselves, how can I consider them helping other players? I can't. Personally, I can't. I don't care if you guys want to think you're helping other players by getting some BS amount of damage that you wouldn't even have got if other teammates weren't on your team, right? My points, I get my points. I could have 15 enemies, still have to face them. I could lose all 14 of my teammates like they were never even a part of this match, and I could still get the points that I get myself because I earn my points. Nobody earns points for me. They may help me get more points sometimes, but they'll never earn me my points, right? Because we play in such a way that the only time they can take credit for anything that I have done is because they were behind me getting help from something I was doing, and by default they decided to actually help at some point. See? Like, here's a perfect example. I just wasted 10 half my health in 10 seconds plus 10 seconds plus, you know? I just wasted how much time down there falling off the side of that bridge. And still nobody's pushed the enemies. I got flipped right back over whenever that long time happened. Had to lay there on my, and then I finally flip over, and I'm still the first one to the enemies. Why? Because the teammates don't actually want to participate. They tell themselves, unlike I tell myself, where I'm gonna win in a situation I know I can't win, I'm still gonna go in there with the confidence and capability on trying to win, or capability of trying to win. I'm not gonna sit here and tell myself, oh, I have to wait for this to happen, or this to happen, or somebody to do something. No, that's not how you play the game. That's how you have people play the game for you. And ultimately, you're going to be one of those players who can't even play the game when it comes down to players who played their own game, played their game for you, and then still ended up losing and have to rely on the players who had people playing the game for them. Do you understand why some people would be so upset when you guys want to act like they're going out there to die? No, you're just not showing up to play. As you can see, how many enemies are around, right? I showed up with half my health bar. I took half my own life, showed up to the battle, and I'm still outplaying the enemies. They still have not defeated me yet, right? Obviously, my stats show that they're probably gonna inevitably beat me at some point. I don't have a good survivability rate, but that's because of how I played for 10 years, specifically the first 5. My survive rate is actually going up in the last 3 years. It's went from a 1% to now getting close to a 20%. So now I went from basically only surviving 1 match out of 100 to surviving basically 1/5 of my matches. All because I started to play differently. I no longer just went out there and took on every single challenge. I chose to actually be conscious about some of the challenges. For example, sometimes I didn't have to push myself out there as far. Why? For whatever reason. Maybe I didn't want to that time. Maybe I didn't make myself that time. Maybe I didn't just do it that time. Maybe the enemies decided to be so slow that I said, okay, I guess we're just going to take even longer to scout now. You know, there could be a number of reasons why it's happened. I know why most of my stats are as bad as they are. It's because of how I played in the very beginning. When I used to spam tanks, just go out there, get like 1,000 damage, and then crash it into another tank, just to go back to the garage and pull out another tank so I could speed up my experience collection. I was getting 2-3 matches in the time they played 1 match. You know what I mean? It was how I progressed up so many tiers in the World War mode. It's how I got my tier 10 in the first 3 weeks. How many people do that? You know, it's not exactly an easy thing to do, because it might be easy to get. You might get up to like tier 5 and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a tier 10 in no time. Yeah. Say that when you're in tier 6 though. You know what I mean? That's about when you realize it's gonna be a longer drive than you think. But I still had like 4 or 5 tanks, tier 10s in the first month of my gaming on this. And that was obviously 8 and 10 years ago. But still, the game hasn't changed much. I'm still ultimately doing the same stuff I did. I'm still going out there and playing the game, unlike so many people who are on the game to play, I guess. But anyways, that's it for this episode. I love yous. I hope yous enjoyed. If I don't talk, no, we'll have a video up before Christmas. But hey, Merry Christmas anyways, people.